I discovered that I am not the father of my 14-year-old son, and my wife wants to have a happy family with the biological father. But in court, my son speaks up, leaving my wife desperate. 3 months ago, my wife Lindsay came home and casually told me she'd been seeing her ex-boyfriend Colin since before we even got married. The worst part, she took a DNA test years ago and knew Nathan wasn't mine, but kept it secret because I had a stable engineering job and Colin was bouncing between restaurant digs. She told me she was betting on the right horse by staying with me, that now that Colin owned 3 successful car dealerships, she wanted to build a real life with him. When I asked about Nathan, she just shrugged and said kids are resilient. That's when I knew this woman was a stranger. I filed for divorce the next day. My terms were straightforward: I keep our house, no alimony since she'd been mine for over a decade, and we split custody 50-50. Nathan is my son regardless of DNA. I raised him to everything. Lindy fought back immediately. She contested everything, demanded alimony, a chunk of my savings, and then 3 weeks ago dropped a bomb. Full custody because she and Colin were moving to Oregon to open another dealership. I give visitation, maybe one weekend monthly. Nathan was with me when the paperwork arrived. He read it over my shoulder and immediately said, "Dad, I'm not going with her." Turns out Lindsay had told him everything before I got home, expecting him to be excited about this new life with his real dad. The custody battle dragged on for weeks. Every session, Lindsay and Colin sat there lying about me. They called me a workaholic who was never home, emotionally distant, claimed Nathan was confused and I was manipulating him. They made me sound like a corporate robot who didn't know how to parent. Colin even testified that Nathan needed a stable 2-parent household, and since he was the biological father, it made sense for Nathan to be with both biological parents. Ziff Dye, who hadn't been in my son's life for 14 years, acting like he had any claim. Nathan spent 4 days weekly with them during this process. Every weekend, he came back more withdrawn and miserable. Lindsay kept pushing Colin as his real dad, buying expensive gifts, slanting their perfect Oregon life with a bigger house and better schools. Then came the final hearing. The judge had heard all testimony and was ready to decide, but first, she won.